everyone. Tonight I'm going to give you training number 1. So I told you each day I'm going to come in with a quick training for you to teach you a little bit about sugar, about cravings, about blood sugar levels, all the things that are just going to help you begin to make small changes, become more mindful about what you're putting in your body so that you can begin to see changes in your life so that you can fool your sweet tooth and start fueling your body with better foods while still being able to indulge and eat sweet treats. But I did want to tell y'all about cravings tonight. To start up with cravings, what are they? What are they controlled by? Things like that. And so I gave a little snippet of this last night in the intro video. If you haven't watched it, you can still go watch it. They will all be up so you can catch them anytime. But cravings. So obviously we all crave things, right? Like sometimes you're more of a salty craving person. Sometimes you're more of a sweet craver. Sometimes we're scientifically actually have a sweet tooth, that we actually, when people use that phrase sweet tooth, we actually do have receptors in our mouths and our brains, all the things that like make us crave certain things. But the cool thing is you can actually control your cravings and change what your body craves over time. Obviously, if you've been eating, chocolate every day because you're craving it, it's kind of like, well, it is like an addiction, like cigarettes, like a drug, like alcohol. If you're addicted to that, if you are drinking every day or having a cigarette every day, it's really hard to just like start, okay, tomorrow I'm done, I won't do it again. No, but over time you can get rid of it. Y'all, sugar is actually addictive as well. Sugar comes to our brain, and our brain, it hits off these pleasure points in our brain, just like something that we're addicted to would. It's actually been tested where there's been a test where they've given a mouse cocaine or morphine. They gave the mouse morphine and they gave the mouse an Oreo, so the sugar, and the mouse went back and wanted the Oreo over the morphine. So it literally is addictive like cocaine. It hits the same like pleasure sensations in the brain that make us want more. And so what you do over time, what you give yourself over time, is what you're going to crave. I like to use the phrase exposure equals preference. And I use this, I talk about it in my cookbook. I talk about it a lot in the trainings I do and the teachings I do, really specifically for moms and kids, because so many moms struggle with feeding their kids healthy, good foods. And I tell them exposure equals preference. What you give them over time is what they're going to want. Obviously, the same thing with cravings. If you give your kids broccoli tomorrow and they hate it, and they never eat broccoli, they're probably going to hate it. But as you give it to them over time, as you cook it in different ways, things like that, they'll begin to prefer it because they have been exposed to it over and over and over all the time. They see you eating it, things like that. Same with your cravings. If you are eating really high intense like candy bars that are like really sugary stuff, you're eating like store-bought cookies or things like that, you're eating just like regular sugary cakes, regular Bluebell ice cream all the time, or just like often enough, that's what you're going to crave. And your taste buds are going to crave that top sweetness, right? When you begin to slowly eliminate or decrease the amount of sugar you're having, your taste buds don't want that high intensity sweetness anymore. They will begin to enjoy moderately sweet things. This is like a great example, and it's by accident, but like I said, I'm a mom of 4 kids, and I have been at the store by myself, which is really a big deal for me. But I saw dates and I was like, man, yes, dates sound so good. Dates are a fruit, if you didn't know, and they are really good. And so I've always like baked with them since I gave up sugar, but I've never enjoyed just eating them. Well, all of a sudden recently I really do, and they are so sweet, like incredibly sweet, taste like a piece of candy. And if you're eating Snickers on a normal basis, they might not taste that good to you. Sorry, I'm trying to get better lighting because I'm in my car without kids. If you're eating Snickers, they might not taste very good to you, but if you decrease the amount of sugar, that thing is going to taste like a candy bar. It's so sweet, crazy. But I just had like 2 of them, and it was like plenty. It was so good. A nice little sweet treat in my car while I'm by myself before I do this video with you guys. So I'm just telling you, what we expose ourselves to, what we expose our taste buds to, what we're feeding our brain is what we're going to desire. That's what we're going to show you in this group. We're going to be giving you these recipes that they're still sweet and they're still delicious, but they're made with better things, so that as your brain's like craving sugar, craving the sweet things you've been giving it, you're like, wait, let's try this black bean cake. And your brain's gonna be like, yeah, that was good sweetness, I'm happy about it. but you're going to know that you actually fed yourself something way better than like a Snickers or candy that you've been eating. So there's this thing I want to teach y'all about real quick. It's in the food industry. A lot of big time food people learned about this thing called bliss points. They like figured out this like scientific, like how to hit these things called bliss points in your body, in your I'm so sorry. Okay. In your body, in your taste buds, they're going to hit these certain receptors in your taste buds, which will be certain receptors in your brain that say like, oh yeah, this is where it tastes good, this is where it's sweet enough, and this is where I want more. They know that sugar is addictive. They know you're going to want more, so they actually have these like mathematical and scientific, like crazy, I guess like levels of the way they test the foods that they're creating. That's the best way to say it. To make sure that they're hitting these bliss points so that when you go buy a Dr. Pepper, you're getting satisfied, but you're also like clicking this thing in your brain that says, I want more, I want more, I want more, right? And just a little side note, did you know that most of us are getting a lot of our sugar, which is like increased so much over the years of how much we're taking in as a culture, but we're getting so much of it through the things we're drinking. Because as you drink sugar, have you ever noticed, say you go to Sonic and you get a Route 44 Dr. Pepper or a Route 44 Cherry Limeade full of sugar, you don't actually get full, right? It's not gonna like, even though you're eating all that or drinking all that sugar, you're not getting full. So you could sit there and drink like Dr. Pepper after Dr. Pepper and it never make you full. It never hits those parts in your brain that says like, hey, I'm full. So just a little side note, that does happen. So we're getting a lot of sugar in the way we drink and what we're drinking. But the food industry knows like these things are going to get us. And so they make things to hit those bliss points so that we want more, so that we're addicted to them, so that we come back. And so obviously you go to the store, okay, a cake or cookies are going to have sugar in it. But the hard thing is nowadays they're slipping sugar into so many other foods that shouldn't really have sugars in them. So we're getting sugar not just in the treats that we choose or the sweet tea that we choose to drink, but we're getting it in bread, and we're getting it in nut butters, and we're getting it in sauces and dressings and all these things, because they know as they hit these certain bliss points that you're going to want more and you're going to come back for more. And it's crazy and it's manipulative, but it's real. And so just a little thing to begin to learn, to look out for. Sugar is hidden in so many things, not just the sweet stuff we're eating. So as we learn to decrease the amount of sugar, reset our taste buds to be able to enjoy naturally sweetened things, like enjoy the sweetness of fruit, enjoy the sweetness of dates, not need to be controlled by our cravings, because we begin to give ourselves slowly, because like I said, if you try tomorrow, it's going to be really hard. But as you slowly decrease what you're having, you fool your sweet tooth with these healthier options of recipes that we're giving you, you're going to begin to notice that you appreciate naturally sweetened things more. You aren't being controlled by your cravings as much. I'm just telling you, I remember right before I gave up sugar, I just was so addicted. I constantly wanted it was specifically like little mini chocolates. I worked at a university, so I worked in the student department, and like activities. So we always had food and snacks and candies and things like that. And so we planned student events. So my coworker had these like mini candy bars, like tons of them, in his office. And I remember I would go over there to visit them and his secretary and just chat with her. And I would eat some of those, and then I'd stick them in my pocket and go sit back in my office and just eat them. And I remember like feeling like every day I would eat them, and I would like stick them in my pocket. And it was like such an addictive behavior, and like this craving just controlled me. And it just really stinks when you just feel this like overpowering, like controlling of cravings. Like you have to have this, or you want this, or like just always wanting this. And so as we begin to expose ourselves to different things, we're going to prefer those things. Your taste buds are going to be neutralized a little bit, not so hyped up on sugary addictive things, and it's just going to be better. So just want to teach you that. I hope you learned something in this. Let me know in the comments, just so I can hear like what was the thing you heard in this training that you're like, wow, I didn't know that, or that's really helpful, or can't believe this, or I'm going to change this, or I'm going to be aware of this. Tell me in the comments. Would love to hear it. And tomorrow's April Fool's. So tomorrow, right? Yeah, right? I'm like, wait, okay, tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's April Fool's Day. So make the black bean cake, make the avocado icing. Even if you don't have time to make the black bean cake, make avocado icing. Go pick up some pretzels or some strawberries and go give it to your coworkers as like a dip, like a fruit dip, and be like, happy it's spring, here you go. Or just have it as a snack, let everyone taste it, and then video them and tell them it's avocado and see what they say. It's delicious. You will not miss out because, man, you're going to be so impressed by how good that tastes. But let's keep going, and I'll have a video every day for y'all, and tomorrow we'll start giving you a new recipe because the first two were the black bean cake and the avocado icing, but we have one for every day from now on.